When you open up your BarwiseFX Desktop application for the first time, you just need to copy your license key that you received in your email, paste it in that field and click on Activate. Now you should see this, and you'll see it will tell you how to get your API key. So there's a link there. Now, this is not a clickable link, so you just need to highlight this URL and just copy it, paste it in your browser, and then this is what you'll see. And then step 2 is to sign up or log into your account. And then step 3 is go to Settings API Key. So let's quickly do that. Right, so this is what it will look like. This is the API keys. So this is what it looks like. And you can see I already have an API key here. And then you're going to click on Create Key, which is this button over here. So you're going to click on that button. And then this is very important. You need to copy your key and paste it in a notepad or a Word document and make sure you save it. Now, before you paste the API key in here, you first will have to add credits before testing. So in other words, before you paste your API key in here and click on Test Connection, you first need to add credits. And to do that, you're going to click on Billing, and then you're going to click on Buy Credits. And the minimum is $5. So just add $5 of credit to your Anthropic account. Now, once you've added credits, then only do you add your API key in here and click on Test Connection. If you don't do it in that order, the application will not connect. You must have credits in your Anthropic account for this application to connect. So I'm going to put my API key in now. Click on Test Connection. So the connection was successful. Click on Save Continue. And then you'll see this message here saying, please configure Signals folder in Settings. So at the moment, it's still disconnected. So you're going to have to go to your Settings tab. And this is where you need to paste the pathway to the Signal folder location. So I'm going to show you exactly where to find that. On your MT4 platform, go to File, Open Data Folder, click on MQL4, click on Files, click on Signals. If you don't see a Signals folder, simply right-click, create a new folder, and name that new folder Signals. And now here at the top, just after Signals, just here in this empty space, just click on it once, and you'll see that the pathway is now highlighted. So you're going to right-click and copy that pathway, and then you're going to go and right-click and paste it here in the Signal folder location field. So just paste it there. Click on Save Settings, and then you'll see this pop-up box saying settings have been saved, restart to apply changes. So you're going to click OK, close the application, and then just reopen it again. So when you open the application up again, you'll see it's connected, the API is configured, and it's monitoring the MT4 platform for the next signal. Now on the latest BarwiseFX Desktop application, you'll see that there are two buttons here. The live dot analysis, which I personally like to keep off, and then you have the on-chart button analysis. So the live dot analysis is basically, as soon as you get a dot on your chart, like over here, it will automatically analyze the signal based on exactly where you are on the chart. It will include breaking news, news events, geopolitical news, and everything else. And then it will give you a verdict in this screen here. But if you switch it off, you'll get the dot alert, but you won't get the analysis. And the reason why I switch mine off is because I do not want to get analysis when there's a signal on the very first dot. What I mean by that is you'll see that here is a whole string of dots. Now, you're not going to get analysis on every single dot. You will just get analysis on the very first dot on the chain of dots, right? Like over here as well. You see these bullish dots? You'll only get analysis on the very first one. You won't get analysis on the second or the third one. But I just prefer to wait for an opportunity that I like. For example, if I see a dot and it's also breaking out of the resistance, by the way, this dot means there's momentum behind the move. So if I see a breakout with a dot, then only will I press the Analyze for Buy button just to see if I'm not missing anything. For example, maybe there's a high impact news event coming out in 15 minutes and I just missed it, or we're trading right at the weekly high, for example, so it's actually at a resistance level that you can't see on the 15-minute time frame, or anything of that nature. So let me quickly press the Analyze for Buy button based on where we are right now, just to quickly show you. So it's now sent for analysis, and on the desktop application, you can see here, it's now busy generating the analysis. And it takes about 10 seconds for the analysis to arrive. All right, so here you can see we've got some obstacles, and if you read the analysis, price is currently below all three POC levels. POC stands for point of control levels, so that's volume based, creating layered volume resistance overhead. This is a significant negative factor for a buy signal, as buying below all three POCs mean every POC acts as a ceiling. So you can just pause this video if you want and just read the rest of it. And then here in the key data, you'll also find the fundamental analysis and all the fundamental related news on this particular pair. And if you scroll down even further, you'll see that there's also a screenshot. And this last candle here, that's the candle where I requested the analysis. You can also see the previous day's low is right here, and the previous day's high is way up there. So if you are going to use the analysis, personally, I would probably recommend to switch the live.analysis, just switch it off, and rather just use it manually, because if you switch this on, then remember there's an API cost. It's only about 7 to 9 cents per analysis. But I mean, if you're going to get dots all day long, it can very quickly add up. So rather just use it sparingly by switching this off and just click the button when you see an opportunity is lining up and you just want to make sure that nothing critical is in the way of that setup. In the next video, I'll take you through all the desktop features.